When I was young, this is how we do it. I would do this, I would do that. That's what I always tell my children whenever they complain about something. Like if they're complaining that they don't have, the internet is slow, we tell them, we don't even have internet when I was young. Or when the car aircon is broken, they'd say it's too hot, and we would say we would even just ride public transportation that has no air conditioning when we were young. And they would always complain, why do you keep telling us about the old days? This is already the modern days. We now have internet, we now have air conditioning available everywhere. And I always tell my children, it's because that's how you learn discipline. If you're not going to learn from the hardships of life, then the easy things will make you weak. And in a sense, that's what the people of Israel was hearing from Saint Paul. Uh, you know, our ancestors experienced this. This is what God told them. Have you forgotten all of those? Don't you recognize what is happening right now? And that is also what Jesus was saying. You know, we will all go back to the Father, where our life came from, where our joy comes from. Brothers and sisters, we cannot forget the past. We cannot forget where we came from, because those are part of where we are going, of who we are going to be. If we fail to learn from the past, then we will not learn to recognize the things that are in front of us, and we might not be able to react. If we are too used to the modern times that it's okay to do this, do that, even though the Bible tells us that it is wrong, then we will fail miserably. We would have repeated the mistakes of our ancestors. The Bible is a timeless book, not only because its lessons are useful to us, but because that is our story. We are part of it. That is how we will recognize God in front of us. If we fail to study the book because, simply because we are saying it's an old book, it's outdated, it's senseless, then we would have failed to fulfill our identities as God's children. Because once we forget the Father and we forget our childhood, then we will not be able to recognize ourselves as God's children when we grow up, if we will even grow up.